Hey everyone, we are here today. It is about to get seriously cold, even though we're down here in Louisiana. We've got some mid-teens coming, which for us, that's low. But we're about to winterize the old Isata 5 36DS. And we're going to use the method of blowing all of the air out of the system to do it. So, all right, look, my RV, it is filthy. We just got back from a long, dirty, dusty, muddy trip. So inside of my wet bay, inside of the RV, we have not cleaned it yet. We just got back, and it's gross. I'll show you a little bit of the dirt on this thing. Like I said, it's dirty, it's filthy, but it was a fun trip. We were doing some little backcountry stuff in Tennessee. So it's fun, and that's what these things are made for. So yeah, it is, it's filthy. Don't judge me, we had fun. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna drain the freshwater tank. So right here, we just open this valve, and drain it into this bucket. That'll take a while. Thankfully, I don't have a whole lot of water in there, but we'll get that drained out first. The other thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to raise the front to get all of that water, as much as I can out of the freshwater tank. This will tilt the tank towards the back so that the water can come out. All right, so as you can see, we got it lifted pretty good in the front and tilted to drain as much as we can out of the tank. I'm also helping it drain the tank a little faster by running the pump with the outdoor shower, just kind of running into this pipe and draining. All right, so the RV is leveled back out, and you can see that the tank is empty. There might be a 1/4 inch of water in the bottom of it, but that is not gonna hurt anything if that freezes, because there's all the room in the world to expand. Now, the other thing I wanna do is drain the filter. These things, they're not, I already grabbed it with my hand and loosened it so I could do it with one hand while I'm filming, but there is a wrench that comes with the RV. It was in this big, like, canvas case. So if you need that wrench, it's there. All right, so the filter is drained, it's screwed back on, the tank is empty. We're mostly done in here. We are gonna come back and do something at the very end. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is come over here to the wet bay. And then at the back here, we've got low point drains. So we're gonna open both of those. And you can see these two tubes sticking out of the bottom. And they're gonna drain a little bit. All right, so next we need to blow out the system. And what I bought for that, there's this little irrigation and RV winterization blowout fittings. This is an Everbuilt brand. Camco also makes them. Looks like this. This is the side that we'll need. Basically, it's going to screw into the freshwater input onto the RV. I bought a pressure regulator because I don't like the idea of putting a whole bunch of pressure into the system. I'm going to put it to about 30 psi, and then I bought this quick connect. This is the industrial style quick connect. They have industrial style and they have automotive, so you're going to need the industrial quick connect. I did get the one that is a universal. It works on both, just makes it a little bit easier. But now basically we need to put this together. Viair, which is spelled V-I-A-I-R, They make a complete kit to do this that has the pressure regulator and all of the fittings and everything. If I had ordered one, or if I had thought about it enough time ahead, then I would have just ordered it, you know, off of Amazon and bought the kit instead of piecing it together. It actually would have been a little more expensive, but Wire is a higher quality product than a Husky. But this is going to get used once a year. It should be fine. So all that needs to happen to assemble this comes in two pieces. This is going to screw into here, and then we're going to screw this quick connect into one side, and that needs to be on the outlet, and this on the inlet. And you can see an arrow on the bottom of here saying that that is the direction of airflow. So the inlet is going to go in that side. And that is what the finished product will look like. Pull this tag off. So that's what it'll look like. I'm going to use some wrenches to tighten the three fittings, and then this will be assembled. All right, so you can see here that I've screwed the fitting into the city water intake. And what you do not want to do, is hook the air hose to that, because that will put way too much pressure. So that is where our regulator comes in. We're going to connect the regulator to it, and then we're going to connect, sorry about being so shaky, but we're going to connect the air hose to the regulator. All right, now I had already checked to make sure that my regulator was set to 0. So what you do is you pull down on this. You heard that click, it unlocks it, and then we just start screwing that in until we get up to 30 PSI. I can see it blowing water out, but I still have that open. So, let's go on and blow that out. So let's get that on up to 30 PSI. All right, there's just air coming out of that now, a little bit of mist. So close that. And then we're gonna go inside. All right, now we're inside. We're gonna drain our sink. So that's the cold water. Switch it back to the hot water. All right. And you know, something to keep in mind is that when we're doing that, we're also draining the hot water heater. You know, it's a tankless hot water heater anyway, but we're draining that at the same time. You know, a lot of people, they want to mess with the bypass valves. The bypass valves are because you're not supposed to put antifreeze inside of the hot water heater. So you know, we're pushing air completely through the hot water lines and we're blowing it out. So in the end, there should be no water left in the hot water heater. If there's no water in it, it's not going to freeze. Same thing with the bathroom. To the shower. toilet. We'll do that a couple of times. All right, so all of our water is drained at this point. There is still the ice maker that's in the freezer. We do not use the ice maker. It is shut off. There's no water in the line. We just found that campground water, we really didn't want to make our ice with it. So we just buy ice. But if you use your ice maker, then you're going to need to drain that line. There's a button in there somewhere on the ice maker that will run it through the cycles to get it to blow the air out, the water and then the air out of it. Now I am going to use some antifreeze. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour half a gallon into each side of the sink. And basically what I'm doing is I'm filling up the P-traps, but I'm also putting water into the gray tank when I do this, or putting antifreeze into the gray tank. But the P-traps are those U-shaped pipes underneath the sink that are designed to keep your sewer gases from coming back up, and they hold water in them. So you've got to put antifreeze in them or they could freeze and break. Here in Louisiana, probably don't have to worry about this, but we're going to do it anyway. The other thing that we're going to do, so this sink, the bathroom sink, actually drains into the black tank. So I'm going to pour about half the bottle into the sink. Then I'm going to pour the other half into the shower. And then I'm going to pour a bottle into the toilet. All right, so I poured an entire gallon into the toilet, and I'm and what that did was it filled the toilet with antifreeze, because the toilet has a built-in trap, and it dumped that antifreeze down into the black tank. Don't forget about your tanks. Your tanks can freeze. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to take this hose right here, and we're going to stick it into a gallon jug of antifreeze. We need to turn the valve right here, and that's going to switch it from pulling from the freshwater tank to pulling from this hose. And then I'm going to go turn the pump on. And the reason that I'm doing that is I want to make sure there's no water left in this pump. The pump is something that, it's kind of hard to make sure I have all the water out of. You got things like this little sight glass here, and then we're actually going to get a little bit into there. And like I said, we don't drink the water out of here, so I'm not worried about having a little, having to purge some antifreeze. So let me go turn that pump on. Okay, so I had some problems with it at first, and I could not get it to pick up this antifreeze. But you can see I'm pulling antifreeze into the pump, and I'm going to go on and shut it off because that's all the antifreeze I need in there. But I could not get it to pull in, and the reason why is that I still had the air connected to the city water input. So there's some kind of a check valve in the system that keeps the pump from being able to actually push water into the system when the city water is connected. But anyway, you can see now I pulled more than half of a jug of antifreeze in. You can see that the water filter has got antifreeze in it, so the pump has got it, the line for the pump has got it, and we are winterized.